comments that you have with Gadowski? Opening statement.
Disappointed because actually I thought we came out all right. They scored a couple goals. I still thought we were playing well, and then after the fourth goal, I thought we lost a lot of our fight, and that was disappointing to see. I thought there was a couple bright spots. I thought Schoen's line played extremely well. But we need a whole lot more of that.
Open up to questions.
Coach, what did you say to your team in the locker room after tonight's game? Did you really?
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything.
Coach, courtesy of Josh Martinez on Twitter, you guys won 124 minutes and 34 seconds time between goals. What do you think is going wrong offensively?
Yeah, I think we're relying on skill. I think we're a lot more skilled, and we know it, and we're relying on skill, and I think that's a really dangerous thing to do in high quality hockey. I don't care how skilled you are. I think that's a really dangerous thing, and I don't think it's this is not a cliche. I do not think we give enough of ourselves to the team and rely more on what we're more focused on what's going to happen when we get the puck, not getting the puck. That's what I think.
How much of these offensive woes do you think are missing?
You take Aiden Fink out of any lineup, and it's going to have its effects. But we have a lot of other great forwards that should be able to pick up the slack. So there's a lot more than that.
Coach, this is the third consecutive time Michigan's come here and scored at least 6 goals. What did you think about the defensive effort? What do you want cleaned up? And what makes Michigan so difficult to defend?
They're very skilled. They have great finishers. I don't know why in this building that's happened the last few games, but we have to figure it out. I don't know why.
Coach, you shuffled up the lines for today's game. What went into that decision-making process, and what did you see from those lines that you shuffled?
Well, it's important that we get scoring from multiple lines, and this was an attempt to get more lines going. Like I said, I thought Ben Schoen's line came out and got us going, but we're not creating enough consistently. That was the attempt, and I don't necessarily like what we saw, especially after the fourth goal.
But you said after your first loss to Clarkson that you guys were still relying on skill. You're still saying it to this point. How concerned are you at this point that that's still an issue?
I'm not concerned. I'm disappointed in myself as well, because this isn't like just brand new. You're right. It happened before, and I got to figure out a better way to send the message, because it's going to be a long season if we rely on that. It's too good hockey. It's too good hockey. You have to play. You have to put a lot of effort in away from the puck before you get the puck, and I don't think we're doing it consistently. So that's on me.
Coach, a couple shorthanded opportunities last weekend for Michigan State. The shorthanded goal tonight. Can you just speak about the team on the power play?
The power play, we talk about enhancing our 5-on-5 mentality, and we've been giving up. You're exactly right. We've given up big chances, probably more grade A chances on our power play recently than any other area, and that's very disappointing. And it's got to be we've got to figure something out.
Coach, you talked about the structure of the team off the puck against Michigan State again being kind of a problem. Again, that seemed to be a little bit of a problem today. How do you fix that?
I thought we started well with that specifically, and we actually outchanced them in the first period, and I liked what was going on, but we gave up 3, and then I think it wasn't so much the structure that got away. I just think we had no fight. We didn't show the fight, and that's disappointing, and I don't know why. So I actually, the way we came out, I like the structure with what we came out, but hey, hockey's hockey. Just it doesn't automatically mean you're going to be up, and we got down a little bit, and I don't like our response.
That line looked a bit ugly for Kevin Raithler at the end, but some of those goals were ones that he didn't really have much of a chance on. How did you evaluate?
Yeah, I felt bad for him. I'll just leave it at that.
Coach, you played two hot goaltenders in back-to-back weeks. You had Trey Augustine last week, Ivan Kovic this week. Are you guys? Should we expect to see more of a shoot first mentality tomorrow? You know, a couple of times in the offensive zone, a couple too many pretty passes across the slot.
I'm more concerned about what has to happen before we get the puck. I don't think we had enough opportunities to do that. Like, however, I'm not necessarily disappointed in the offense when we got the puck. I'm disappointed in the number of times that we were able to do it. I that's what's bothering me right now. I think we've lost. We're relying too much. We're waiting too much to. We're waiting to perform after we get the puck, and I'm not necessarily disappointed that. I just the amount of times that we have the puck in scoring situations are minimal right now because we're not working to get it. That's my concern.
Coach, no fashion tonight. Is there
You'll probably see him tomorrow night.
But in hindsight, do you think you guys spent too much time looking back at the Michigan State series, and did you see any of those mistakes?
No, I don't think we spent too much time because we needed to. No, I don't. We needed to learn from those mistakes, and I actually, again, I like how we came out with structure. I thought from the initial first period, take away the goals against, I thought what we worked on looked good, but we certainly lost our. We allowed goals against to really to get us down, and that's disappointing. So no, I don't think that.
Coach, you mentioned the team's play off the puck and how you want that to be improved tomorrow. I saw a lot of one and done opportunities today without a lot of sustained offensive zone time. Going forward to tomorrow, what is something you want to see fixed to make that happen?
I saw it on the other side though too. We had one and dones. We didn't have sustained offensive time, but we also gave up a lot of sustained defensive zone time. So like we weren't winning the pucks at either end of the ice. So they both have to change.
Early in the season, you've been talking about shift management. It seemed like early, like you said, a lot of structure, speed, and quick changes. Was that part of the game plan coming in?
Yeah, I thought, like I said, I thought we started out really well. You take away the goals against, and I thought we started out really well. I'd like to, before I answer specifically about that, I'd like to see the stats before I say.
Regarding McKenna, it seemed like a couple of times when he was in the offensive zone, he was making passes that seemed to be broken passes. Obviously, he has one of the best shots on the team. Do you want to see him shoot a little more?
I'm not. I'm not going to. I think we can support each other a lot more. And I'm not going to tell him how to play offense because he does it better than anybody. I think from his standpoint, I think he would like to see a lot. He's not the only one. We need to support the puck all over, including when Gavin gets it. And then I leave it up to him. I have full confidence in him to decide what's right to do with it. But again, I think the opportunities that he had were minimal compared to what has to happen, and that's my concern.
This is the first road the team's been on all year. What are you seeing body language wise? I know it was a big problem. Like last year, you said the Ohio State series back in
Yeah. Yeah. We can improve. We can improve. I got to tell you, it's not as bad as what could have been after tonight. So I think the guys know. But I sure like the goal is not necessarily to just make sure you have good body language when things are going wrong. The goal is to make sure that you don't have to wonder if you're going to have bad body language. So for the game and the effort for the game and the results tonight, yeah, I have no problem with their body language tonight. But there's a lot that has to be corrected before I get down to that.
Coach, you had Nolan Collins play with Jackson Smith tonight. Did you like that line? What were your thoughts on that?
Nolan Collins played with Mac. Smith.
Sorry, I think the line's at first. Not jumping around my fault.
Yeah, no, Smitty played with
Sorry,
Crespo.
Mac, my apologies.
Yeah, Smitty played with Crespo. I thought Nolan played really well. I mean, he was actually +1 in that game. I thought he looked really good. I thought he was maybe one of the few bright spots we had.
Coach, you mentioned how you felt bad for Kev after that loss, but that TJ Hughes goal specifically, if you remember, he was able to drive it right down the middle, right down Broadway himself and tuck it backdoor. What did you see on that play?
I saw us get beat off the wall, and I saw that our defensemen were in position on the defensive side. Once he got beat off the wall, he made, you give him credit because he had to work really hard to get away from his check, which he did. But anytime you get beat one-on-one off the wall and you get beat to that, it's going to be an issue. So if you're asking why, defensemen had their man, you don't want to necessarily leave your man to run either. The goal was scored because we got beat off the wall.
And you didn't speak a ton to the team post game today, but going
No.
into pregame tomorrow, what is your message going to be?
I won't know yet till about 3 a.m.
Kind of going off of that, you didn't speak, but who is?
I don't know because I walked in. I told Kate Christensen, I said, just so you know, I'm not going in. I'm not speaking. And if I went in there, it would have been all emotional reaction. And I want to really look at things before I do that. We need direction right now. So I want to be very sure of the next time that we communicate as a coaching staff to the team, I want to be sure, not just emotional reaction.
Coach, how do you plan on getting the boys in a more positive headspace for tomorrow's game after coming off the rough loss?
Not sure yet. I think a lot depends on what we dissect from the game, and then that will be a question. But right now, I honestly don't know.
After doing such a deep dive into kind of what was played maybe last weekend, you said you took a while looking back on that series. Is it disheartening seeing results tonight after the reflection you guys had this week?
It is. It is. I really felt like we were in a really good spot to come out and play an excellent game. I did. And I think that the other coaches did as well. And it was disappointing because when we came in after the first period, like everyone was actually happy with what we set out to do from a structural standpoint, but we were down 3-0. And then after the fourth, like I said, I just think the fight went away, and that's disappointing. So, yeah.
A couple more questions for Guy.
Coach, this Michigan team is now 8-0 and scoring the first goal. Obviously, scoring the first goal is always huge. You spoke about hunger coming into the game off the rip, but how big is that going to be tomorrow? Is that going to be a part of your main message, you think?
I hope it won't matter. It's always like in hockey, like, yes, it's a lot easier to play the game from, it's hard to play the game coming from behind. And hockey, the first goal is always important. But I'm hoping that it doesn't matter. Like and tonight we didn't get the first 3, but I liked how we were playing. And then I don't think we had the fight after that. So I don't care if they score the first or the second or the third. We need a better response regardless. Does that make sense? I mean, it's always important, of course, but it doesn't just come down to that. This is a team that's come back from being down, I think, 6 times already this year.
Coach, after a game like this, what do you hope to see from your leaders in the locker room to help some of the younger guys for tomorrow? You've answered a lot of this different ways, but what do you hope the leaders? Do you hope that they're the ones that are kind of speaking up in the locker room?
Well, I do hope that we fall back on the lessons that were learned last year, and I think that early there was some finger pointing and negativity, and then I think the leaders last year did a heck of a job of standing up and saying, no, we're looking in the mirror, there's no more negativity. That's what I hope is happening. I have a lot of faith in the leadership of the room. I really do. I'm certainly that would be my expectation.
Final question for Guy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.